Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today. So first things first, the Federal Reserve is going up 0.75% on its interest again. For those who have been kind of watching this stuff along with us, every time this goes up, we see the prices of everything go up as well. So here's the headline for that, folks. As if inflation wasn't bad enough, we got it going up even higher now. But we've expected this because this was actually projected to happen earlier in the year. But something else I think is interesting is if you looked over at our community post last night, there's a school over in Wisconsin that is being sued for their gender identity policy. Here's the headline on that, folks. So I also wanted to post some of the information about why they're being sued on it. So apparently, the school has the mentality that they don't have to tell the parents if the child is having a gender identity issue, that that's between the student and the teacher, that the parents do not have a right to understand or even know about what's going on. So here's some clips from what the lawsuit states, folks. That's the society we live in today. It is your position, your duty, your job, your privilege as a parent to raise your child. What it is not is the government's place to come in and say that you don't have a right to an aspect of your child's life. The school, on the other hand, does not have a right to know certain things. Now, they don't get to know everything about their medical records and stuff, doctor-patient confidentiality. The parent, on the other hand, would. But it seems like there is a shift where it's basically saying that the government is now the guardians of your child and you're just someone where they can come stay the night or something. It's basically what the system is pushing out here lately with the mentality that they have, because understand, they're not educating, they're indoctrinating. That's what's happening. That's why we have so many messed up people in the world today. We have this mentality of these people just get there, just wake up overnight, flip a switch, and then they've gone loony left or whatever. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is the parents have stepped back. They're allowing their kids to grow up into schools, and they're not even getting involved in stuff until they get a little older, and then they want to come in and impart some wisdom or something to their child. Well, that's why these kids today are so snotty and disrespectful, because their parents didn't take the time to raise them. They've been raised by the system, and they don't need anybody's opinion because they have the system which tells them anything you want to do, anything that you figure you want to do or be or whatever, that's fine. Just do what you want to do. To heck with everybody else. That's not the way they should be raised. They should be raised with a type of a morality about them, guys. But we're seeing a lot of this stuff happening. This is what we actually read about. If you ever read the Bible, it says that that's what's going to happen in the end days. Not only are these people going to celebrate these types of sins in the streets, but they're going to teach your children to do that as well and encourage them to do it as well. And that's where we're at today with that. Now, something else we got going on here is we're going to be hatching out our chicks and stuff. So for those that are kind of interested in that, there's going to be in the chicken care videos, you're going to be able to find out about how to hatch those chickens. But we're right around day 5, somewhere around in there. So what does that development kind of look like when it comes to your chickens and your eggs in the incubator? Here's what you kind of can expect. Personally, I wouldn't candle them at this stage, but this is what's going on inside that egg. The main thing to remember, folks, is with everything that's happening in society today, and we're seeing a lot of crap. We're seeing a lot of stuff flung at people who hold to a moral code, people who hold to a constitutional view of this country. We're being attacked. We're being called, extremists and stuff. This isn't news to any of us. We know this was coming. Now, what can we do about it? Well, first off, if you're a parent or you're even a grandparent, it is your duty to make sure that the next generation has all the facts. It is not up to the system. You see the way the media and even the presidentials and all that stuff, how they lie to the nation. They're lying that stuff to your children. You have a little bit more information to realize when it's lying. But what these kids think is that they're coming into school to be educated on the important matters. That's why they think that they're smarter than everybody else, because these things that they're being educated on, the sexual identities and stuff like that, that should not even be an issue. God created them male, female. That's what it is. You're either male or you're female. It's a biological truth. male or female, folks. But unfortunately, what's happened is parents just sit back and like, yeah, whatever. And then you got these people who are so weird. I guess they were kind of an outcast. They're afraid your children are going to be outcast. So they encourage them to jump into these things because it's easier to find a group of people to be if you have a label. But see, that's where society has driven the population is you can no longer be an individual. If you're an individual, then you are the outsider. They want you to fit inside one of their social cliques is what it's come down to. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Divergent. That's basically what we're on the path to in the world today. If you don't fit within a certain social group, then you're going to be divergent and an individual. You might have attributes of, someone who's brave, but someone who's kind and things like that. But it's along those lines is where we're headed because it's easier for the government to label because if they can label you, they can then control you. They don't care what you identify as, but what they want to make sure is that you know your place in society. That's where we're at with the government today. And you can blame that on the presidents all you want, but that's not just the presidential status. That is what's coming across through Congress and through the Senate, all the way through our judiciary system, through our educational system. It starts the corruption is deep rooted, folks. And the only way to get past that is start teaching your own children. Take them to a private school that has a sound doctrine as far as they're going to learn education as far as mathematics, history, stuff like that. And that's what they're going to learn. There is no more the social science garbage that they're pushing today. But no one wants to take the time to do that because we're so busy. We got to work so we can afford our house that's bigger than what we actually need or whatever. But then there's the families who are working the best that they can. They can't even afford to put food on their table. And they have to trust a system to educate their child, but instead of educating their child, they're indoctrinating them, where we could all actually pull together as a society and put an end to this crap. If everyone would pull their kids out of a public school system right now, today, if they say enough is enough, we are not sending our kids to be indoctrinated, and pull their kids at home and homeschool them until they get the system straight, hey, that's fine. But this is what happens when you put atheists over educating your child. You're not going to hear about God. You're not going to have the rights to pray. What you're going to have is people that are saying, okay, well, we'll give the right for prayer back in school. But they don't really push for that. What they do is they come in and they get these kids to mock them, and then they educate your child into being one of the most confused individuals that walk the planet. And that's what it is. They've indoctrinated them into being completely confused. They have no idea who they even are anymore, unfortunately. But I hope everyone's been having a great week. We have the weekend coming up here, and the whole lot of stuff, kind of going on out here. We're getting ready to plant our fall garden and all. I know Survival Living, he's going to be working on a greenhouse to start working on some stuff on that here pretty soon. So right now we're just kind of really watching a lot of the weather out in this area because we are getting into the peak part of hurricane season, though we've had it really light and very easy this year, and I hope that continues on. I really do. But on the same note as well, there's a lot of states that really need that rain as well. So it's just kind of, on one hand, it's nice for some people. On the other hand, it's bad for other parts of the country where they really need that rainwater. But just you got to take it in stride, figure out what it is that's going to work best at your situation. And when it comes to sustainability and survival and stuff, folks, I would highly recommend that you understand this. First off, it's going to be an always learning type of a situation. You're never going to know it all. What worked this year may need to be changed next year. What worked 1 month may need to be changed another month. So that's something to keep in mind as well when you go into your sustainability projects. But I would highly recommend that you get into something because we already see that this increase is fixing to come up. So you can expect this 0.75% increase to equivalent to, I'm guessing probably another 30 to 40 cent on the dollar of the stuff that you're buying at the store. We'll wait and see if that happens. But I'm expecting the facts, or as far as the reports and stuff that's coming in for November, that the cost of a lot of this food is going to be so insane that most people will not even be able to celebrate Thanksgiving by putting food on their tables this year. So they're already going to be struggling just to get normal food on their tables. So I would recommend raising you some flocks and stuff, folks, because it might not be a turkey, but a nice sized chicken. You could have you a nice one come Thanksgiving this year if you go out and you start raising them now. So have a wonderful day, guys.